Do you go on vacation but always have your phone in your hand, checking email, sitting in on client calls, reviewing something for your staff? That isn't about discipline. It's not that you don't trust your team. It's that letting go feels like giving up the one thing only you can do, instead of freeing you up to do more of it. I spent 30 years leading change inside Fortune 100 companies, standardizing how teams worked, building the systems that let people make decisions without escalating every single one. And what I learned in corporate is exactly what's missing in a lot of small businesses. So today I want to walk you through a real example from my career, because it's the clearest way I know to show you what actually fixes this. Before I get into the story, I want to call out something directly, because I think it gets misdiagnosed constantly. The instinct to stay close to everything, to want to know what's happening, to feel uneasy handing something off. That's not ego, and it's not a character flaw or micromanaging. It's actually a reasonable response. You built something your clients trust, and you're just trying to protect that. Most advice tells owners to just let go, to stop micromanaging. That skips the actual problem. The problem is you can't let go of something when you feel like you are the only one who can do it. And the reason for this is there is no process in place that allows you to feel comfortable leaving it. I saw this exact pattern play out for real, years before I ever thought about small business. And the way it got fixed is the whole reason I'm telling you this. Here's the contrast that took me a while to really see clearly. In a Fortune 100 company, you go an inch wide and a mile deep. You specialize. My entire career was built around standardizing and improving one kind of work at a massive scale. A small business owner doesn't get that luxury. You're a mile deep in your actual service or product, but you're also an inch deep in 35 other things. Hiring, sales, quality control, scheduling, all of it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just part of the job at your size. The corporate tools and methods I used for 30 years doesn't transfer over directly. They have to be adapted to fit a business your size, but the underlying principle works exactly the same. And that's exactly the situation I want to tell you about, because it's the clearest example I have of what this actually looks like when it's fixed. This is a real story from a few years ago, and it's the one I think about most when I talk to business owners about this exact problem. There was an associate on my team who had been with the organization for over 20 years. He had built an entire process himself years earlier, and he never had time to train anyone else on it or write it down. Everything that mattered was on his whiteboard or in his head. He was coordinating a team of 12 people, assigning the work, tracking where every piece stood. When he was out on vacation or sick, things got missed. Customers had to wait for him to come back before their work could move forward. Now let me be clear about something here. This wasn't because he was bad at his job. He'd built something that worked for 20 years by himself. The gap wasn't him. The gap was that the business never gave him a way to make that knowledge belong to more than one person. Here's what we actually did. I assigned 2 people to cross-train directly with him. For about a month, they worked alongside him on his actual live projects, not a training exercise, the real work, so they learned every piece of how it actually ran. At the same time, we built a project tracker in Agile format, so instead of his whiteboard and his memory being the only record, everyone on the team of 12 could see exactly where every piece of work stood and what was next. The result wasn't just that the company could move faster and handle more volume. It also freed him up. He wasn't stuck being the only person who could ever do this. He got room to learn new things and grow into something bigger. This is the part most people miss. Fixing this didn't punish him for being the bottleneck. It gave him room to stop being the only option. Now, you probably don't have a team of 12 people running one process, but the exact same mechanism is what's missing in your business right now. So here's the bridge, because I don't want this to feel like a corporate story that doesn't apply to you. The mechanism is identical at any size. Find where the process only exists in one person's head, usually yours, and build something that lets it live somewhere other people can actually use it. That's not a complicated tool or a 6-month project. It's the same two things that fixed it at my previous company. Someone working alongside you on real live work until they actually know it, and a simple way to track where things stand that isn't just your memory. This is why generic advice like just delegate more or build an SOP doesn't stick. Cross-training on live work is what actually transfers the judgment calls, not just the steps. You're not trying to remove yourself from the business. You're trying to make sure your processes don't only exist in one place. If you're sitting there thinking about the one thing in your business that only you know how to do, that's exactly where I'd start. This video is about the mindset shift, seeing this as a systems gap instead of something wrong with you. What it doesn't cover is the actual process for figuring out which parts of your business are still trapped in your head and where to start first. That's a different conversation, and it's exactly what I walk business owners through one-on-one. If you want help mapping that out for your specific business, the Discovery Call link is right below this video. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button below and subscribe for more content just like this.